Hello, this is Shawn. I am going to be going through a behavior tracker system that is going to be completely free. There's not going to be any paid components of it. It's actually pretty simple to set up, but I am going to say it looks more intimidating than it really is. So I'll do this as a series and I'll kind of break this down step by step. And then I'll save like really advanced features for the very end. And these are just options that you can add on to make this a little easier on yourself or go that extra step. So I'll showcase what I'm going to talk about first, and we're actually going to just kind of jump onto the end piece of this, and we're going to get into Looker Studio. So if you haven't been into Looker Studio, it is a data collection piece that is very easy to use. So this is pulling information from a spreadsheet in. And we can set this up to where it looks just like a web page, and you don't have to worry about any additional pieces on there. Let me change the size of this just slightly. So I got this landing page, looks very similar to a web page. I have buttons off to the side. You can have it where it kind of looks a little different where you can expand it out, but I have it broken down into home, student data, teacher data, and frequency. So this is all fake data that I've put together for this. So looking at the student data, let me change the size of that to make it where it's a little more visible for you. So this is a breakdown of a school. This is 6th, 7th, and 8th grade. This is all their data. This is broken down into quarters for different things. And the way this school is set up, they're actually doing points at, behavior set at a point system. So each point behavior has a different point. This isn't anything you have to do. This is just the option for this route, but it's actually calculating the points being earned. So in the first quarter, this many points, third quarter, second quarter, so forth. You could just as easily say this many number of behaviors. You can have this specified as minors and majors if you really wanted to. We could get into different categories where this is more of a social, this is individual, this is in the classroom, out of the class. So many different options. It's just how you want to pursue it. But you can see I've got a list of information. I have 242 occurrences of disruption minor. I've got 236 gum. I've got off task. I've got horseback. I can hover over this and see the data specifically on there. And this is for all students. Now, I could pick out an individual student, check them off, and say, just this one kid. I've got 33 point loss, 25. I've got 12 accounts of disruption. And I'm actually seeing specifically what this one student has been getting hit for throughout the course of the year. Now, once again, this is completely false data. We don't have this bad of a controlled situation, hopefully. So what I actually have here, I have a table, I have little scorecards, I have a filter tool, and I have a graph. I can jump over to teacher, and it's very similar. Now I'm looking at specifically teachers. I can say, what does Miss Powell look like? I can actually click. I'm having trouble with that. And I can actually see what's going on with Miss Powell's classroom. I can jump to frequencies. And now this is, to me, this is the big picture. This is every piece of data I could want and piece of information. I don't have it graphically. I could easily set this up in a very similar way, but I've got a bunch of tables and they're doing counts. So I can look at this data and tell a lot of stuff. I can see Emma has the most frequent occurrence with 91. I can actually look at the specific thing. These are my behaviors on the occurrence the most. This is the teacher that has had more issues. These are my locations that have the most issues. These are the time of days that have the most issues. And I do recommend specifying when you're doing something like time of day to actually have it broken down into time periods. The benefit of that is when it's broken down, you're having people put in more consistent data. So I don't have 1032 and then 1031. This will give me more accurate data representation. But now here's the big piece on here. I feel like disruption is a real issue. So I'm going to actually click disruption. Now it edited all my data in the other tables to narrow down, okay, just disruption. These are the students who have had disruptions. These are the teachers who've put in disruptions. These have been the locations. These have been the time of day. Well, 11:30 is the most occurrence, so let's see what's going on at 11:30. Well, 11:30, I now just have these teachers, these locations, and these students. Well, Miss Anderson's, comparatively right now, I'm seeing there's a big issue there, so let's look at Miss Anderson more specifically. And we don't have like one kid doing all of it, it's spread out. We can see it's in the classroom and in the library, so let's go ahead and just narrow that down to the classroom more specifically. And now we just have a lot of one-up occurrences. But it's 12 kids in a class at a specific time of day. That's a good talk. Once again, this data is completely fake, but this gives us major things to talk about. And then I hit reset, and now I'm like, well, cell phone shouldn't be as big of an issue as it is. Well, let's look at when it's occurring. Well, 9:30 in the morning. Well, maybe they immediately go to their first period class, and then they're supposed to go to their lockers. And these kids are having this long period of having their cell phone when they should have already put them up or something like that. These are conversation points that can start just by clicking at these and actually looking at how the data actually changes. So you can narrow down date ranges. I can pick a range between different periods to see when something's happening. So I want to see what's taking place after spring break. I want to see what took place during first quarter to second quarter. You can do a lot of comparisons off this, but this is ever fluid. I mean, whatever fits your school's need, you could add more and more pieces to this. And that's what we're going to go through with this series, is how to actually modify this information to grow. So the first place you're going to start is actually with a Google form. And we're going to talk about how to build that up. And we'll continue with this, and we'll build more on this idea and how to actually grow this for your school and make this where it's very easy to adjust, very easy to track, and really easy to share the information out with different people. So thank you again for your time, guys. And if you need anything, don't hesitate to reach out to me. I would be happy to help you out. Thank you.
Hey, thank you for watching this video. Please click the like button and subscribe so you can stay up to date on any future videos.